Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you doing? Hola, amigas. Welcome to Indigenous Girl Pioneers, a ripple of change. I am Ana Flores. I am the founder of Wheel Girl Latina and your host for the next hour. And today, October 11th, we join in on the celebration of International Day of the Girl with the remarkable girls at Maya Impact School. This is the only educational organization of its kind that's spearheaded by two Indigenous women for Indigenous girls in Guatemala to break cycles of poverty, discrimination, and injustice. And this is just such a special opportunity to meet the beautiful team and the girl pioneers creating a ripple of change in their families and communities. From leadership roles to published writing, these girls are blazing new caminos and doing it together. I am personally excited that we've gathered here to get to know their inspiring stories and to learn more about the incredible impact of Maya. Before we start, there's a few housekeeping notes that we need to share. We want this to be a community conversation where you can ask questions and chime in to celebrate the Girl Pioneers. So we will reserve time for audience Q&As during the last 20-25 minutes of the session. So just drop your questions on the chat, and Erica from the Wheel Grow team will be monitoring and selecting those of you to join us on the virtual stage during the Q&A portion. And our intent is always to create safe spaces for all. So please check out our community gathering principles, which are being shared in the chat right now by Gabby. And if you're called to share on your socials, please tag Wheel Girl Latina and Maya_impact for reshares. We're sharing that in the chat as well. We always love to see them. And on a personal note, before we dive in, I want to share that I was a proud Maya board member last year for the last few months. And now I actually serve as an advisor for Maya's Latina Alliance. I was incredibly drawn to become a Maya supporter and an advocate because of how they are empowering generations of young women through a really holistic educational model with an equal focus on academics, on culture and identity, and also the socio-emotional intelligence, personal development, and family engagement. Together, these are key components to creating a generation of empowered female leaders who will lead systemic change. Maya exists in the foundation of when one grows, we all grow. So one of Maya's principal programs is the Maya Impact School. And this is Central America's first secondary school specifically designed to connect the talents of rural Indigenous young women with the opportunities of the 21st century. They call their students Jóvenes Pioneras, Girl Pioneers, because many are their first in their families to continue their education and to break cycles of generational poverty. And this is what we will learn more about today and be inspired by the incredible work of the women who energize Maya day in and day out. I'm incredibly honored to welcome Andrea Coche, who's the co-executive director of external relations at Maya, and Vilma Salok, who's the principal of the Maya Impact School. I welcome both of you. Por favor, acompáñenos in this virtual Wheel Grow stage. Thank you all of you for being here from the Maya team, especially during this really challenging time that Guatemala is living right now. And one other note, we're going to be doing this conversation in English and Spanish, si quieren en cachiquel ustedes también, so that we can have the full community join us. ¿Cómo están?
Good afternoon, everyone.
I would love to start off with having each of you introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more about who you are, quiénes son estas mujeres tan hermosas, and what is your role at Maya?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to meet you. I am Andrea. I am Director Executive for Servicios Directos. I am Maya Tutujil. In Guatemala, we have 24 groups, Maya's groups. So I am Tutujil. I speak 3 languages, Spanish, Tutujil, Cachiquel, and I learn English now, so my English is not very good, but I try
You're doing great, Andrea.
speak. Thank you. I work for Maya 12 years. So I start with Maya when I como mentora. So I
Mentor?
yes, como mentor. So I learn about my community, about the vision for the women. So I love this vision. Y fui creciendo. Now I am a director, and it's a big opportunity for me, but it's important because es un gran espacio y un gran oportunidad para demostrar a las mujeres indígenas que es posible estar en estas posiciones. Estas posiciones no es muy común para nosotras las mujeres indígenas liderar organizaciones, trabajar por nuestra comunidad. Entonces, para mí es una gran responsabilidad, pero también es un gran ejemplo y es un gran techo el abrir estos espacios para más mujeres que vienen en mi comunidad, que se están formando, así como las jóvenes pioneras.
Me
Thank
encanta.
you. I invite Vilma.
Me encanta. I'm just gonna recap that esa última
Okay.
parte. And like I was saying, like such the spirit of when one grows, we all grow. Andrea was saying that, it's not common at all to have Indigenous women in the positions, in the high position that she is in right now as co-executive director of such an important organization, and that this makes her so proud because she gets to serve as a role model. So you are a trailblazer, Andrea, and we applaud you for that. Te aplaudimos. Gracias.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Buenas tardes a todas. I am Vilma. I am the principal at the Maya Impact School. Maybe many of you know me, but good to see you, and nice to see you. I am Cachiquel. I work with the girls, and I think since 2010, and many years with Maya Impact. And I start with Maya because engaged me the philosophy, like the vision, and how we can change our lives, how we can transform our community and our country too. And that's why I work with the girls, women. My passion, my heart is with adolescents. Maybe it's a little bit hard ages, but I love because remember me when I was adolescent, and how I can work with them. I enjoy so much my work. Yes, and in this moment, I feel very honored, like to have Adela in our team in Maya. You met her in a little moment, and a little time, but I am so happy for that. And thank you so much, Matios.
Matios, thank you. One of the things that I really love about the moments that I've shared with Maya in the past, all virtual moments, and when we had you, Maritza, Vilma and Maritza in LA for a fundraiser that we did last year, and that many of the ladies present here got to meet you, is something that you do called Reunión Comunitaria. Could you please tell us a little bit about that? And could you lead us? Could we be part of it too?
In Maya, it's very important support our community. So in we start our session, use community meet. It's a technique that we use at Maya to start our session. It's a space where we say the name we like, say how we feel, and we answer a powerful question to feel very good. For this occasion, the powerful question is, what was your dreams when you were a girl? So I can start. Next, I invite other people. I am Andrea, and I'm feel happy with this today because it's emotional for this day, Girls' Day. It's important for me. And cuando yo era niña, quería ser una licenciada. It's important for me study at university, but I don't know what professions existían. Entonces, only imagine study, y en mi comunidad usualmente solo eran hombres que iban a la universidad, y pues fue mucho mi sueño estudiar en la universidad. También quería ser maestra, pero no quería ser maestra, quería ser directora en una escuela. Nunca he trabajado en una escuela dando clases, pero sí soy directora de una escuela muy, muy grande. O sea, increíblemente los sueños se cumplen cuando hay un soporte alrededor de una niña talentosa, y me siento así hoy. Thank you, and invite Vilma.
Thank you so much. I am Vilma. Feel very happy, excited to stay here in this event. What is my dream when I was a girl? I remember I dreamed very big too, like Andrea. And my dream, it was like to be a doctor, a medicine, study a medicine. But in the second place is like a teacher. And when I finished my ninth grade, I think I say to my mother, I want to be a doctor. I want to study medicine. And she said, okay, we can explore, but it's very expensive. And that's why I can't to be a doctor. But some woman told me in one day, like, you are not a doctor, but in this moment you have a very impactful role with the girls, with the community, and with the adolescents to inspire them to achieve their dream. And I say, okay, it's that like the effect in the teacher or the principal in the school. It's much more than a doctor, maybe, right? And that's why I love my job in this moment. And yes, I feel so excited for this this job. Thank you. I invite Dulce.
Let's invite Dulce. Wait, trying to unmute. Dulce, we're gonna need you. Ahí está. Ahí está, Dulce.
Good afternoon. My name is Dulce. I am very happy today. Respect to the question, when I was a little, my dream was to be a doctor, but that dream changed, and now I want to be an author. I invite Adela.
Gracias.
Thank you so much for sharing all your dreams with us. And I am so excited to having you with us because um, it is a great opportunity to share with all of you our dreams and about Maya, about how Maya was changing my life. And I remember when I was a little girl, I was so obsessed with painting, and I wanted to have a lot of crayons of all the colors and paint whatever I wanted. And I never told it anyone, but I wanted when I was a little girl, I wanted to meet Michael Jackson. but but now it it was a crazy dream when I was a little girl. I invite Anna.
My turn. Gracias. Thank you all for sharing. I am feeling very fulfilled and excited. No, leave Adela here. I am feeling very fulfilled and excited to be in community. That's really that to finally be able to make this happen. This event that we've been planning for such a long time, to want to make sure that our amigahood got to really experience the soul of Maya through all of you. Y mi niña, so I grew up in El Salvador during the times of the Civil War and all that. And it felt always really hard to dream, even though I was in a bubble in a Salvadoran protected society, but it felt kind of hard to dream. And every time I would dream with something, it felt like, oh, that's just not possible. And later, so I don't remember a lot of my dreams as a little girl, but once I discovered the first time I was in a TV set, I was like, oh, I want to do that. I want to be in television as a producer, but I wanted to be the one telling people what to do. Being a TV producer, and I made it happen. But that was a dream that was coming to me. So now I want to invite everybody on the chat, everybody that's here joining us, to also share on the chat and join us and just give us one word of how you're feeling. So we can put all these emotions out there together. And if you want to share with us either the question that Gabby put on the chat, which is, what does being a girl pioneer mean to you? Or what la pregunta de la reunión comunitaria, which is cómo se siente un sueño que tenía tu niña. Tenemos palabras aquí como joyful, inspired, grateful, inspired, hopeful. Ustedes se inspiran mucho. Y'all are a very inspirational bunch. Grateful, inspired. And for even more inspiration, that's why I wanted Adela to stay here with me. We're going to be talking with Dulce also in a little bit. Pero Adela, we really, I want to ask you to please share with us more about your story, because you were a student at Maya. You graduated from Maya Impact School a few years ago, and now you actually moved on. Now as an alumni, you work at the school. So can you tell us a little bit about, first of all, joining Maya, right? Because I know it's not even in Guatemala, it's not an easy thing still for girls to achieve higher education. So what was that process like for you?
Thank you. Yeah, as you said, I was a girl pioneer. Last year, I graduated from high school in Maya, and now I am part of the communication and franchising team at Maya. I still can't believe it because last year it was just a dream for me to be part of Maya's team or Maya's staff, but now I am part of Maya team, so it is very I don't have words to explain the emotion, but I am so happy to help other girls to achieve their dreams. Girls like Dulce, who inspired me to continue my community and continue work with girls, and especially with indigenous girls. I 5 years I had a dream. It was to ask my dad to let me study. It was very hard to me to ask to my father to let me study, to let me go to school, because my dad had a very closed mind. Um, and all the girls in Guatemala face a lot of hard situations like poverty and discrimination, especially about indigenous girls. It was hard for me, but when I heard about Maya, I said like this is my opportunity uh, to to make my dream, or to work to work in my dreams. So I decided to apply to Maya scholarship, and I made my decision, but my dad said no, with a
Ah,
big no, and
a
I
big
was
no.
yeah, a very big no. But now, I made all made the application in silence. I didn't tell my dad what I was doing in school with the leaders in the community. He didn't know what were I working. So uh, when the day come to like the or when Maya asked to me my application, I needed the signature of my dad, and and that day was a wonderful day for me, because it's the first time I made my decision. I see in the I like I had the powerful I felt the powerful on me, and asked my dad that I wanted to go to school. I wanted to study. I I was crying
Mm.
in front of him, but finally he let me went to school, and and he learned with me that girls' education is very important, because I could show to him that as a girl I have all the abilities that I need to do other things, to achieve all my or to continue with my dreams. And last year I remember that when we was in the ceremony of graduation in Maya, he asked me, so now what do you want to do? And now every month, and he asked me, what do you want to do next month, or what are your plans for next year? And it's I I could see the change in him, because they or my all the men in my community sadly had a very closed mind, but my father my father could change his mind. So it's very powerful for me. And now I have more dreams. I not just dream. I I have a dream for me, but I have a lot of dreams for other girls, for other generations. I wanted to be a writer, and I wanted to write about stories of girls like Dulce, like other girl pioneers. And that's why I had a poem, and I wanted to share with you it poem. It inspired by the power of the women in my community, and especially you, as you can see now, I am wearing my huipil, and I like the colors of the huipil in Guatemala. So it inspired by the colors of the huipiles, and inspired by the power of the women.
Mm.
Um, Yeah.
Let's before you go into the poet, thank you so
Mhm.
much for wanting to share the poet. But before that, I just want to take like a collective breath and a collective moment to honor your story and to honor that Adela of 5 years ago, that courageous and brave girl that knew what she wanted, had the courage to take the steps and confront, because it's you make it sound right now, right? Like it's a beautiful story and it sounds easy, but I know that it must have taken a lot of courage for you to go through that and to break a cycle. You broke an incredible generational cycle, and that through you right now, this is something, a buildup from your ancestors that came, that are showing up through your actions and now through your words, and how you're inspiring already so many of us and so many generations behind you. So gracias. And I want to give an opportunity for the chat also, everybody to share on the chat. And I am going to remove myself from the stage to give you the stage right now so that you can share that beautiful poem with us. ¿Está bien? Okay.
Thank you. Okay, my poem it called My Colors. And it says, do my colors outshine you? I dress in flowers, I dress in bees, I dress in Mother Earth, and I dress in different shades of the sky and flavors. I don't break if I listen to your outdated sermons about my people. I never tire of saying that sometimes you are wrong. We are live, we are not a fate. I have a voice, we have a voice, a little louder if I am with mine. Our art never lives in fame when it is in the right hands. Do not dare to say that I am just like you, because my mind conquers other worlds and your mind stays in the comfort of a single political speech. I am part, we are part of the story you're afraid to hear. And you thought you were going to scare me with your darkness? Don't take it personally just because my face is so expressive that it hints at making fun of you. Making fun of you, of all your attempts to finish us off. Making fun of all the times you wanted to silence us, to mock how little courage you have to accept the truth. That with my colors, with our colors, with our roots, and with our story, you cannot put up borders. Thank you so much.
Gracias, 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 gracias. Collective big gracias. ¿Eso lo escribiste en inglés o en español?
En español. But
¿Quieres leer en español también?
Sí, por supuesto.
Okay.
Me gusta. También quise traducirlo al cachiquel,
encanta.
pero no, no me dio tiempo. Okay, let me find it. El poema se llama Mis colores. Como dije anteriormente, está inspirado en los colores de los pupiles de todas las mujeres de Guatemala y también representa el poder de las mujeres. Este poema va dedicado a todas las mujeres y a todas las personas que intentaron silenciarnos, pero estamos acá de pie y estamos trabajando para un mejor futuro para las mujeres. Mis colores. Que mis colores te opacan. Me he visto de flores, me he visto de abejas, me he visto de madre tierra y me he visto de diferentes tonos de cielo y sabores. No me quiebro si escucho tus sermones obsoletos sobre mi pueblo. No me canso de decir que a veces estás mal. Somos vida, no somos moda. Tengo una voz un poco más fuerte si estoy con los míos. Nuestro arte jamás vive en hambruna cuando están las manos correctas. No te atrevas a decir que yo soy igual que tú, porque mi mente conquista otros mundos y tu mente se queda en la comodidad en un solo discurso político. Soy parte de la historia que te da miedo escuchar y creíste que me ibas a asustar con tu oscuridad. No te lo tomas personal solo porque mi cara es tan expresiva que insinúa burlas, burla a todos tus intentos por acabarnos, burla a todas las veces que quisiste silenciarnos, burla al poco valor que tienes para aceptar la verdad, que con mis colores, que con nuestros colores, con nuestras raíces y nuestra historia no puedes poner fronteras.
Mm, qué belleza, qué poder, qué valentía. O sea, esa niña que estábamos celebrando, esa niña de hace 5 años que estábamos celebrando, sigue aquí ahora mucho más potente. I am just like so excited to see where your future is going to continue taking you, Adela. Receive the love right now.
Thank
Receive
you.
the
Thank
love.
you so much.
I shared your Instagram handle because I know you also share illustrations and more poetry and more of your writing, and we wanna stay connected with that. And I know, and thank you. You also shared, you wrote something for We All Grow that we will be that the team will be sharing this week. So we'll continue being inspired by your words. Gracias, gracias. Mencionaste a Dulce y quiero invitar a Dulce que nos una. Dulce, you want to join us here? Hola, Dulce. A ver si está. Yes, I muted. Hola, Dulce. Thank you so much for being here. I know we wanted to have this conversation from the school originally, but the school is closed. For those of you that don't know, Guatemala is going through some massive political and social unrest right now due to the I'm not going to get into the details, but from the elections from last year. So the school is currently closed because it's in the middle of the area that is affected right now. So they're all joining from our home. So I'm just very grateful that we're able to have this conversation. And Dulce, you connecting from home and right now. So we are happy to have you here. So queremos conocerte un poco más y así como nos contó Adela un poco sobre su historia de cómo entró en la escuela, cómo que la motivó a entrar a Maya, sabiendo que todavía hay mucho, no es fácil, ¿no? Para las niñas niñas indígenas en Guatemala acceder a la educación secundaria. ¿Cómo fue ese proceso, esa historia para ti? Y you can share in English or Spanish.
I say this story in Spanish, but I need add feelings. This story, my story. Then I start. Yo recuerdo que cuando era muy pequeña amaba estudiar. Yo le decía a mi mamá, mamá, cómprame un libro, mamá, cómprame un libro. Y cuando entré a la escuela yo sentía que me separaba de mi mamá, pero llegó un momento donde yo quería estar todo el tiempo en la escuela y mi mamá ya no sabía qué hacer porque no me quería desprender de mi maestra. Cuando estuve en primaria, recuerdo que tenía una mi compañera que ella me dijo, mi hermana estudia en un colegio que apoya a mujeres, es totalmente gratis, todo el día. Y yo le dije a mi mamá, ese mismo día yo le fui a contar todo a mi mamá y le dije yo a mi mamá, mamá, si no es posible que yo ande viajando o que me dé miedo viajar, yo me quedo a vivir con mi abuela. Yo le decía a mi mamá, me voy a quedar a vivir con mi abuela para poder yo viajar y solo caminar un poquito y llegar yo al colegio, le decía a mi mamá. Y mi mamá está bien y luego tuvimos la ayuda de una maestra, de una persona externa. Nos ayudó a investigar sobre qué era, cómo se entraba, qué necesitábamos y investigamos así muchas cosas. Y cuando yo tenía lista mi papelería, yo la fui a entregar de una vez y la entregué. Y estuvimos esperando, yo siempre estuve muy ansiosa sobre saber, ¿me aceptarán? No, sí, no. Y llegó el día del examen, yo sentía que estaba muy emocionada, yo hice todo lo que pude en el examen, sentí que di lo mejor de mí, aunque estaba muy asustada, sinceramente, porque era una gran oportunidad para mí y no me permitía a mí misma dejarlo ir. Recuerdo que el día que nos dijeron que iba a entrar eran como tipo a las 6 de la tarde, estábamos ahí con mi mamá en la casa, cuando llamaron y nos dijeron, su hija entró, le dijeron a mi mamá, y yo estaba gritando porque era muy emocionante para mí, estaba gritando, mamá entré, y yo tenía ganas de llorar sinceramente porque era una oportunidad muy grande para mí, y yo estaba muy feliz y yo hasta abracé a mi mamá. Recuerdo que no siempre tenemos contacto físico con mi mamá, pero yo llegué a abrazarla y me sentí muy feliz. Y luego me sentí un poco triste con lo de la pandemia, cuando vino el COVID-19, o sea, yo no conocía a mis compañeras así personalmente hasta finales de año y cuando las conocí empezamos a ser muy felices. Yo tenía, como decía, cambié mucho porque, como dicen mis papás, cambiaste demasiado, tú no eras así, maduraste un poco más, mejoré mi creatividad, mi voz empoderada, como nos enseña el colegio, aumenté esto y, o sea, yo me sentía muy feliz de estar en el colegio y como le digo, prefería que fuera un internado, le digo a mi mamá, tú hasta dormir querés en el colegio, me dice mi mamá. Y yo sí quisiera que fuera así y me siento muy emocionada que todos los días para mí es una nueva aventura en el colegio. Desde cambiar mi forma de pensar, de vestir, de expresarme. Y para mí el colegio ha sido un cambio total. Yo llegué ahí muy tímida, sinceramente yo sentía que era tímida, pero ahorita, no sé, ya hablo más, hablo mucho más, expreso mis emociones y no me da miedo decir estoy triste, no me da miedo decir que estoy feliz, porque para antes, para mí estar triste, no, mejor hay que guardarlo o llorar solita, me
Mm.
decía mi mamá. Y entonces yo ahorita he cambiado mucho, sinceramente.
Ay, me encanta. Gracias por compartir todo eso. Qué historia más bonita. El, porque es otra historia también de mucha valentía y de mucho coraje. Ahorita mencionabas que quisieras, le toca a Vilma y Andreas y tomar nota que quieren internado en la escuela, quieren dormir ahí, vivir ahí, pero ¿cómo es? Cuéntanos a nosotros, ¿cómo es un día típico en la escuela? Y bueno, veo obviamente que hablan inglés, ¿no? Que Adela habla el inglés perfecto, tú también lo estás hablando. ¿Ustedes entran hablando inglés o es algo que también aprenden en la escuela? ¿Y cómo es un día típico?
Un día normal, uno entra, como le digo, lo del COVID, uno tiene que hacer rutinas para entrar, para lo de la prevención, y entramos, antes teníamos nuestro tiempo de lectura en la mañana. Nosotras decidíamos qué libro leer. Yo suelo amar muchos los libros, me encanta leer, sinceramente. Y como le decía una de mis educadoras, dan ganas de tener la biblioteca en la casa porque nunca se cansa uno de leer. Y hay muchas como yo, como nos declaramos amante de los libros y así. Entonces uno ama su tiempo de lectura en las mañanas, pero ahora nos la cambiaron, está en la tarde porque uno después de recibir clases se relaja uno con el libro. Yo esto siento sinceramente. Y tenemos nuestro tiempo de lectura, recibimos clases, últimamente cambiamos de modalidad, nos movemos de salón y yo diciendo, parece una universidad, una escuela de los Estados Unidos, yo eso pienso, que uno se mueve ahí para tomar sus libros y yo lo siento como que si fuera una escuela de los Estados Unidos, yo sí lo siento y me encanta mucho movernos, entrar a otro salón es otra vibra también, recibir las clases, lo del inglés, lo recibimos 4 veces a la semana y como nuestro teacher es nativo, es mucho más fácil para nosotros y a mí siempre me ha encantado el inglés, mucho, me encanta el inglés. Y yo trato de ver casi las películas en inglés o leer libros en inglés porque uno aprende unos vocabularios más y también cantar mucho en inglés. Me encanta sinceramente cantar, aunque no tenga una bonita voz, pero me encanta siempre escuchar muchas canciones en inglés, leer en inglés. He leído 2 libros en inglés y sí los entiendo. Y como les digo, yo entiendo el inglés, pero no suelo hablarlo mucho, me cuesta, pero trato de mejorar mi vocabulario y también mi pronunciación, porque siento que a veces se me traba, entonces trato de mejorar mi pronunciación y muchas veces muchas educadoras nos saludan en inglés y como señor Vilma a veces nos la encontramos y dice, hi, buenas tardes, good afternoon, y entonces como que nos interactuamos en inglés aunque no estemos en clases de inglés.
Me encanta. Oye, ¿cuál es tu cantante favorita en inglés?
Me encanta mucho el grupo de Maroon 5.
Ah, Maroon 5, qué bueno. Ok, ya apuntado. I want to remind everybody to please drop your questions. We're going to move into Q&A right now. And vamos a terminar aquí la conversación. Vamos a seguir la conversación con Dulce mientras la que quiera ponga ahí sus preguntas y las vamos a invitar aquí al escenario virtual so that you can come up and ask this question and participate with them. No, seguimos con Dulce. Seguimos con Dulce y las invito a todas, a Dulce, a Vilma, Adela, a Vilma, Adela y que me falta Andrea. que les quiero preguntar a ustedes dos, Dulce y Adela, ¿qué significa ser para ustedes una joven pionera? What does it mean to you to be a girl pioneer? Si hay que quiera, Adela, ¿quieres empezar?
Okay. Being a girl pioneer has been a very great opportunity for me because when I started to study in Maya, and all my teachers called me girl pioneer or joven pionera, I didn't know how or what is mean, but now I have a very powerful mean of this word of this term, like girl pioneer, because I am the first woman in my family who graduated from high school because my oldest brothers and sisters didn't have the opportunity to continue to study in high school, but now I could do it, and that's why being a girl pioneer, it has been a um very powerful opportunity for me. It was allowed me to open my mind toward the society and create like a plan on how can I help other girls, and and yeah and how can I allow my how can I help my little sister to make to make her decisions, and and now I have a very powerful meaning of girl pioneer, because Maya changed my life in different aspects, change some things in my family, and change myself, and it Maya allowed me to dream, to think, and to how can I use my voice to speak about myself, to speak about other girls in my community, and how can I lead projects in my community to support other girls in my community.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Dulce, ¿quieres compartir?
For me, ser una joven pionera is the first in the family. I say this, but I am the first daughter of my mom, and is the first woman to change the story of their parents. For example, my mom, she don't have the opportunity for study, and I, her daughter, to change this story to add logros for my mom. And I am the first of my aunts to study in second grade, noveno grado, creo que es. And my mom say for me, you can, you change my story. You don't repeat my story. You are a girl in power. You are a powerful girl, she say for me. And this is my, mi, como le diría, mi meta, mi sueño, ser mejor que mi mamá, no en su pensamiento, sino en cambiar la historia de ella. Entonces, because she don't have the opportunity of study, and the men say you don't can, and I am not think for this. I think in my story is a different. I say of my mom, I can study, I can a different of rest my aunts and my mom. I because the girls pioneer is opportunity for me. They change my dreams, they change my world, they change my family. It is opportunity in Maya is is a bloque, es una es algo para mí que puede cambiar toda mi vida. Por eso para mí ser joven pionera es muy importante, ser muy poderosa, porque uno como que le da alas para volar. Entonces, para mí ser joven pionera es una gran bendición, así viéndole desde el lado religioso, porque para mí es una bendición, como que Maya es alguien que llegó a apoyarme, a ayudar a que mis sueños se cumplan. Para mí eso es Maya y ser una joven pionera.
Qué belleza, veo tus alas. Las veo. Las veo acá. And Andrea and Vilma, I see Guadalupe, who's part of the Maya team here. She's asking, and this is a great question. I wanted to ask you, what does it mean for the two of you to be leading Maya and inspiring us? And I'm going to add to that, how can we help you help these girls, support these girls?
Gracias. Thank you. Vilma, ¿quieres ir primero? Luego voy yo.
Okay, I can start. Thank you for that question. And for us, what does mean for us to be leading Maya and inspiring you? For us, it's like the opportunity to change not just this generation, to the next generation, to the next generation. And like education transcend in this life. And what they say, like what Adela says, her story, and Dulce too, their mothers and their grandmothers never stay in the classroom, never hear the other discourse in their family, in their community. And for me, it's like this generation, our generation, and you, because you are part of this network, to change that with this generation. And imagine, like we dream a lot with Andrea, with our team, because our local team come from the same community, where our girl pioneers come from. And that's why we dream a lot, like, okay, we can change our mind, like the father's mind, the mother's life, and the whole family, not just the girl, like the education, because I know why Dursa says, like, I want a boarding school, but the other benefits, like we don't have a boarding school because they learn in our school, but they share with their family immediately, and we can see that that patterns, that thoughts from the fathers and the mothers change very fast. And that's why that the other important piece for our program, like to lead not just for this generation, for their family, for when they decide they building their own family on her terms, like, okay, the education is important for my family, for my daughters, for my kids. And for me, leading Maya is like open new paths and trajectory for the girls who looking at me, or like you, because many of you are a girl pioneer, you are a woman pioneer, like Ana Flores, like all of you in your community. You are first, maybe in your family, maybe in your community, to make change for your life and for others too. And I feel I am part of that big change and make a better world for all. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you, Vilma. Interesting question. For me, being a family leader, for me, it's a service for my community. This work we do is not only for the girls of today. it is to generar more women like us, and we see that son, the executive director of Maya is a pioneer. Our role is to open space to send the horizon for other generations. Nuestro rol aquí es abrir esos pasos. Muchas en Maya también estudiamos por becas. También fuimos niñas o somos mujeres que venimos de esas comunidades de donde vienen las pioneras. Las pioneras son talentosas, soñadoras, fuertes, valientes, pero lamentablemente venimos de comunidades que han sido excluidas históricamente, que el sistema nos ha colocado en situación de pobreza, que en nuestra comunidad no ha habido inversión para las mujeres. Entonces nos ha relegado a ciertos roles y estar en esta posición de liderazgo para nosotros es un compromiso con nuestra comunidad, con nuestras hermanas. También es una reivindicación de nuestras ancestras, de nuestras abuelas, de nuestras madres que no pudieron tener esta oportunidad que nosotros. Para mí, it's a big responsibility because es una generación de abuelas que estoy representando y es muchas generaciones que vienen detrás de mí. Hay una cosa que fue muy, muy interesante que yo escuché durante el tiempo que empecé a tomar esta posición de directora ejecutiva con mi codirectora Lidia, es que mucha gente en nuestra comunidad nunca ha ido en un avión, nunca ha viajado. Entonces, siempre es la pregunta, es como, ¿cómo se siente estar en un avión? Y es tan curioso para las comunidades. Y fue la misma pregunta que muchas veces escuché cuando llegué a ser directora ejecutiva. ¿Cómo se siente estar ahí? Y para mí fue hasta cierto punto doloroso, pero también fue como inspirador para mí porque es un espacio que no es tan común y que muchas quieren saber cómo se siente. Y puedo decir ahora cómo se siente estar aquí y me encantaría que muchas mujeres indígenas puedan sentir lo que yo estoy sintiendo en esta posición y puedan tener esa experiencia. Y puedo decir que es posible porque hay muchas niñas que se están formando con este sueño que estamos representando, Vilma y yo, y todas las mujeres que están trabajando en Maya, marcando y demostrando que podemos tener muchos más roles, muchos diversos roles en nuestra comunidad. Pues eso es para mí ser líder en Maya.
Gracias, gracias, gracias. De verdad que, como lo dije hace rato, que es fácil decirlo, ¿no? Soy pionera, celebrarlas, pero el trabajo espiritual, emocional, físico, mental, que hay que pasar día con día para poder romper esas barreras, to break those cycles, recargar con hasta eso, como dices, esa reivindicación de nuestros ancestros. Qué belleza ponerlo de esa manera. It takes a lot and it also takes a community, it takes a village. Y lo que me da gusto, lo que me encanta ver de Maya es que todas ustedes que son pioneras en este momento, que están abriendo estos caminos, se tienen la una a la otra. Y Dulce tiene a Adela, ¿no? Adela tiene a Vilma, Vilma tiene a Andrea, etcétera. Se tienen entre todas ustedes abriendo ese camino, jalando una a la otra, apoyando una a la otra. And this is what we're all about right here. So before we close, because I still want you to answer how we can support, because you're not alone. Y eso es lo que sería lo más importante para mí que salga de este momento acá, de todas las que estoy muy agradecida, de todas las que pudieron, de las que están aquí ahora, everybody that joined us to be part of this and to meet you and to learn from you and to be inspired by you. But we want you to know that you're not alone and what can we do to support you. So we're going to get to that. But before we get to that, I see that my beautiful partner and business partner and co-CEO, Vanessa Santos, has a question. So Vanessa, I would love for you to open your video if you're okay with that, and join us on the stage and ask a question. We only have a few minutes, so we'll make it really quick. Espérame que we need to unmute you. Ahí.
Ahora sí. Hola, ¿cómo están? First, I want to just thank you all so much. You are all so inspiring. Adela, tu poema, Dulce, lo lindo que hablas, honestamente se expresan de una manera que yo nunca a su edad he tenido las palabras. So, felicidades. Mi pregunta rapidita es, entonces, nosotros aquí en We All Grow siempre seleccionamos una palabra que nos lleva, that carries us throughout the year. Algo que significa el tipo de poder de la manera que queremos resaltarnos. Entonces, para mí es surrender. A no tratar de controlar las cosas. No se puede controlar las cosas de la vida. Y mi querida Ana es integrity, tener integridad en lo que uno.
La palabra de este año. Cada año tenemos una palabra nueva.
Me encantaría saber cuáles son sus palabras de este año. ¿Qué puede ser la palabra del año?
Para mí, gracias Vanessa por tu pregunta. Mi palabra sería conexión, like connection, en la diversidad, en las generaciones, con nuestras ancestras y todo. Para mí, la palabra es conexión. My word is connection.
Thank you. Gracias por compartir. ¿Quién quiere compartir? Adela?
I was thinking about connection too, but now the word or my word is like initiative, like when you start something, because this is the first year I worked with Maya, and I started like I was afraid, but now I am feeling so powerful. And my word is powerful. Yeah, it's like power. Yeah.
Eso, poderosa. Dulce?
For me, my word is voice, because sin la voz no podemos hacer nada técnicamente, y agradezco mucho por mi voz, porque puedo decir soy fuerte, soy poderosa, puedo gritarlo a los cuatro vientos. Entonces para mí sería mi voz lo más importante para mí.
Yo no veo una Dulce tímida por ningún lado. Gracias, Dulce. Andrea.
Para mí este año fue valentía. Valentía y aprendizaje en este nuevo rol. Sí, era mucho de como, oh no, ahora estamos Lidia y yo frente a esto, qué responsabilidad. Y creo que Lidia, la otra codirectora, también hemos sido valientes al dar este paso. Sí, eso es para mí, valentía.
Bueno, les celebro a todas y sus palabras, conexión, poderosa, voz, valentía, y las honramos. Gracias, Vanessa. Thank you for that question. And as we close off, sorry, thank you everybody for sticking us. We're late, but this is the most important part. How can we support you? How can we support Maya and this beautiful mission that you're on and changing the world and creating these beautiful ripple effects?
Thank you so much, Anna, for that question. We invite you to invest in Maya Girl Pioneers and together create a better world for all. And you can do it in several ways, and you will find all the information at Maya page, mayaimpact.org. Please visit our page and make your donation, your support transcend this generation to the next one, to the next one. Thank you for embark on this journey with us. Thank you so much.
Gracias a todas ustedes. De verdad, muchas gracias Dulce, muchas gracias Adela, muchas gracias Andrea, muchas gracias Vilma, muchas gracias a todo el equipo de Maya que nos apoyó con esto, Maritza, Guadalupe, y a todo el equipo de We All Grow, y a todos ustedes, all of you that made the chance to spend time with us here at Real Girl Latina and the Amigahood, and for always showing up in this space. Let's do our due diligence in supporting Maya by sharing about their work and donating if it's within your means. And let's create a ripple effect of real impact for girl pioneers worldwide. Muchas gracias.
A ti, Ana, muchas gracias por creer en nuestra causa y ser una gran aliada y abrir este espacio para nosotras. Muchas
Es un honor.
gracias y gracias a todas que nos acompañaron. Un abrazo. Los esperamos
Gracias.
en Guatemala, en Maya, cuando puedan venir.
Gracias, amiga
Vámonos.
Hood Community. Gracias a todas. Muchas gracias.
Bye.